Hello, everyone, and welcome to the newest episode of the JCK&Youngco podcast. And there's two notable things that you probably noticed. One thing, Youngco isn't here, and the other thing, MadBrad is actually back onto the podcast. So, obviously, Bradley, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello.
You're right,
everybody. A wasp just landed on me.
Great introduction.
Yeah, a wasp is just chilling.
So, as everyone and probably Bradley is probably wondering, why we brought you back onto the podcast, because a lot of things have been happening in England recently, haven't they, buddy?
Yeah, boy.
So, if I remember correctly, the vaccine successfully rolled out and everything, and basically, you're on your first dose, if I remember correctly, aren't you?
Yeah, I received my first dose not too long ago, to be honest.
Not too bad.
Obviously, in my area, there are a lot of spare vaccines, apparently. They have just been handing it out to first come, first serve type people.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
So, I presume in like the 10 or so weeks you'll be getting your second dose and everything, is it?
Yeah.
Not too bad. How has that been feeling and everything, with the notorious
Honestly, is like the first day you get it, you don't feel too bad, but the second day, my body just ached.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Fair enough.
But what happened is when I went and got my first dose, they told me to stay for 10 minutes because apparently people are starting passing out.
What, really?
Yeah, people are recording they feel faint and they're lightheaded.
Oh shit! So it's nearly everyone in your family actually has the vaccine now, is it?
Yeah, everyone in my everyone in my family has it.
Oh shit! So obviously, with the recent news of England and everything, everything's opening back up, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there was a news article on the Telegraph, and it was literally saying that no face masks by the summer or something.
Hopefully, well, it's been reported that I don't know if it's England or Great Britain, but we finally fell out of the top 10 worst hit countries.
Wow, Jesus. Okay. So obviously, as I was reading the article, it was just saying, as I can quote here, the end of face masks, the English public should be able to ditch face coverings this summer. Government scientists believe one source, said that thanks to the success of the vaccine rollout, things will return to normal over in the summer months. And apparently, obviously the face masks and everything will maybe need to come back in the autumn and winter time, obviously with flu season and everything like that. But so I guess you're delighted, really, aren't you, to kind of...
Yeah, especially since next month everything should have properly reopened. So nightclubs should be reopening, pubs should be fully reopened.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
At the moment, pubs are only doing beer gardens.
Oh, okay, outside events.
You can only sit outside.
I see. Okay. And obviously, as people may know, obviously Callum isn't here at the moment. He has been receiving some sort of PC issues in regards to his area. Basically, they're just having power outages and everything. But the show must go on, and we had Bradley on, and we didn't want to, unfortunately, with time zones and everything. So let's get back into it and everything. How have you been, Bradley, since we've last seen you on the podcast?
Yeah, I haven't been too bad. Just been busy working.
Oh, fair enough.
If you can say working.
Yeah, your job still... I despise your line of work, honestly. There's me tirelessly working to make the bread on the family, and then there's Bradley sitting on his ass doing absolutely fuck all.
Literally, all I done today was watch YouTube, have a Pizza Hut, and watch more YouTube.
What do you actually do, if you mind me asking?
I am a part advisor. So when your car comes in for a service,
yeah,
I will be the guy who gets those parts for your car.
I see. Okay, and then you just give it to the technician and everything and whatever, and they sort out and everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair play. Okay, so kind of obviously as everyone knows, obviously, Bradley is usually in most of my streams if we're ever playing Valorant or CS:GO and everything. So obviously, me asking him how he is probably a bit of a stupid question and everything. But I guess you're excited though, but aren't you? You're excited for everything that's opening up, and
Oh yeah, I'm just excited to get life back to normality.
yeah, it's kind of going at that. Was it the light at the end of the tunnel kind of shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and then at least everything can go back to normal, and COVID isn't on the news every single day. So, as you know, Bradley, we're gonna talk a little bit less about the COVID and everything. We'll kind of make sure we don't need to talk about that and everything. Have you been keeping up with the news recently
In what aspect?
in regards to everything?
Not so much for news. I've been keeping up with like the sports.
Okay. What have you been keeping up with then?
Mainly the new Super League, which is meant to be starting, but
Yes,
isn't.
I was going to bring that up with you. If I'm, you're a Middlesbrough fan, aren't you? Born and raised.
Yeah. Yes.
What is your, obviously, like myself, I'm a Chelsea fan, so like with hearing the Super League and everything, I was just kind of like, well, all right, Chelsea can go fuck themselves. But obviously, apparently, it was only due to like the CEOs and everything like that. But maybe as a non-biased decision from a Middlesbrough fan, what's your take on this?
I don't know. It's if they did it right, I don't feel like it would be a bad thing. It's a factor that it's an exclusive league, and it would ruin the leagues we have now.
Exactly. Yeah, it would kind of make the rich richer and make the poor poorer, essentially.
Like the only good thing about it is it would be the best of the best footballers playing against each other.
Yeah, and then
like every week. But that's why we've got the Champions League.
exactly, kind
It'd
of
be just getting rid of the Champions League for no like it's there's no need to make the Super League apart from money.
exactly, because obviously it's kind of more of a treat if you see let's just say Real Madrid versus Liverpool or versus Chelsea or Man United, for instance. Like we don't need to see it 3 or 4 times a year. We see it the one time or maybe the twice if they're in the same group stage as each other, and we think, oh my god, this is a treat kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But in regards to it though, are you surprised it flopped so fast?
No, not really.
Really?
The backlash the backlash the English football community was getting.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really have a Super League without the top 6 in British football.
Exactly. And if you get rid of them, if I remember correctly, Real Madrid are still in it. They still haven't confirmed if they
I'm pretty sure it's Real Madrid and Juventus.
Real Madrid and Juventus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Italian clubs and Real Madrid. But I'm pretty sure Dortmund. No, I think Bayern Munich might still be in it as well.
If I remember correctly, I think they had like nothing to do with it, or something.
Yeah,
That I couldn't tell you. I completely forget. But with how do you think it would have gone? Like, how do you think? Because I can try and get the list up quickly. I think it was it 6 of the. Give me a moment there. I should have really checked on this. Super League teams. It was obviously the Arsenal, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Tottenham, FC Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, AC Milan, and Inter Milan. Now that the top 6 are out of it, and everything seems to be dying down and everything, I think we can kind of confidently give our picks on everything. How do you think it would have gone? Do you think like with like Barcelona not having, instead of playing one of these teams maybe once or twice a year and maybe now having to play them quite regularly, how do you think it would have gone? Do you think some teams would have struggled? Do you think the English 6 would have fell, or
well, it's hard to say due to how we all play football differently. Like, if you see look at Chelsea's team, Timo Werner was a god at RB Leipzig. He was scoring goals left, right, and centre. He comes to an English football team, and he's out of his depth.
doesn't know what he's doing?
Yeah,
like I can admit that he's very kind of how do you say it? He's just out of the picture.
He's like a Bambi. He just looks like Bambi. He doesn't know what he's doing with his legs.
Exactly, and obviously he's a top class footballer, and he's one of the best strikers in his prime. But of course, when he went to the Premier League, it just wasn't for him and everything, you know.
Yeah, and going back to it, what you look at the Champions League, is it the group stage? No, it's quite legs. What you've got Man City and Chelsea in the semis. Then you look at Europa League, and you've got what Man United and Arsenal. That's 4 English football teams in the semi-finals of 2 leagues.
Exactly, and if you take that out, then who are you going to replace that with, essentially? But yeah, just to kind of give a little ending to that, just so we can just talk about it a little bit. How do you think it would have gone? Do you think it would have gone well? Do you think it would have gone shit? Do you think there'd be a lot more Leicester and West Ham fans, or do you think it would have just been a big
Honestly,
flop?
If it went ahead, I feel like it'd have 1 season because it wouldn't get reviewed. No one would watch it.
That's very true. I feel like it'll be not to be offensive by anyone, but if anyone actually thought that the Super League was a really good idea, they probably didn't know that it was making the richer teams more richer and the poorer teams more poorer. And of course, when it comes to that, what do you think would have happened with the Premier League? Of course, as you know, the Premier League and everything behind the companies behind that were announcing that the Big Six were going to be essentially kicked off the Premier League. What do you think they would have done? Do you think they would have done the old-fashioned 9 teams from the Championship up and 3 teams from the Premier League down as the normal regulation, or what do you think they would have done?
I don't know. I feel like they might have just completely changed formats.
Maybe, or maybe
because you're losing your top 6 teams, the 6 teams which bring people to watch English football. You're losing them 6, and you have to make something more exciting.
Exactly. And
I'm sorry, but I don't think a lot of people would like to watch what West Ham against Burnley.
Yeah, for the Premier League title.
Like, I'm pretty sure. Hang on, if you bear with me 1 minute.
Yeah, take time.
Sky. So the top 6 left, it would stand with West Ham being first, followed by Leicester, Leeds, Aston Villa, Everton, and Crystal Palace.
Like, fair enough. If you said to me like 20 years ago that's how the table was, I'd be like, do you know what? Fair enough. But I don't think anyone would have expected the table to go that way if obviously this did go ahead. And do you know, with the Super League, I think we can both agree, just not a good idea, really, is it?
No.
With
it isn't.
No, with other things actually happened in the news today. One little fact, you know, Kylie Jenner announces that she's bidding to be governor of California, if I remember correctly. Is it Kylie or Caitlin? Is it Caitlin? I think it's Caitlin. Yeah, my apologies.
Her running for governor is like the 2 YouTubers who are running for London mayor.
There's 2 YouTubers running for London mayor?
Yeah, Nico Omalina and I forgot what his other name is. Max Fosh.
Oh, is that guy from the NDL?
NDL is Nico Omalina.
Yes.
Then you've got Max Fosh, who bought his own roundabout to trade to Rilani. But yeah. You've got them 2 people running for mayor.
Really?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Okay, I actually didn't know they were running for mayor. That's crazy.
All it takes is a 10 grand deposit.
Really?
And some signatures. And then you can run from there.
That is crazy. Okay, so that's hopefully something new that everyone did learn on the podcast today. One big thing that did happen was the absolute shit show. That was Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. Did you watch the fight?
I don't watch any need to watch a fight. It ends in one round. The best thing is I forgot who Jake Paul was fighting.
It was the most sketchiest fight I think I've ever seen. So for people who haven't watched it, basically Jake Paul, this famous YouTuber who's basically deemed as a piece of shit. I'm not disagreeing, but he was fighting a UFC fighter who's mostly kind of known for his wrestling and everything, Ben Askren, and obviously he went to the boxing ring and he got knocked out in the first round. I think it was only like a minute or two they were actually into the round. And yeah, so if you were like myself and you stayed up until the ungodly hours in the morning to just watch a slightly dad bod person get knocked out by Jake Paul, yeah, I do feel bad for you, but
and talking about boxing, I think Jake Paul or Logan Paul have confirmed they are fighting. I forgot what
Floyd Money
Mayweather,
yeah.
But that's actually been confirmed.
Yeah, it's been confirmed. The fight was delayed, if I remember correctly, but obviously they were just trying to get everything right, which I was like, do you know what, fair enough. But I will say one thing: if Logan Paul does win that fight, then I don't know.
The thing is, there's a lot of controversy going. Like, if Floyd Mayweather loses, it'd ruin his reputation.
It would. See, it's an expedition match, if I remember correctly, so it does not affect his record. He's still Floyd 50-0. He's still the big 50, as some people call him, and all this kind of stuff. But if he does lose, this will not kind of break his record. Kind of will, and it will and it won't, kind of thing. It'll kind of break his record in the fact of I don't think he's actually been confirmed to ever lose a fight. But now it will be that he's lost a fight, just not quote unquote officially.
But the thing is, no matter what, Logan or Jake, I don't know which one it is, they'll be leaving with a lot of money.
Oh, regardless. Like, obviously, Jake made a shit ton of money.
And Ben did. If you not, there's images of Ben walking out after the fight with a big smile on his face. Because I'm pretty sure he earned like $500,000 off that one fight.
$500,000 for just stepping in the ring, if I remember correctly. There was obviously sponsors, everything like that, and yeah, if I remember correctly, he stepped in, got $500,000, and then got knocked out. He didn't even get knocked out really. He was just a bit kind of
dazed.
Yeah, he was a bit dazed, and I guess I think the ref called it too early. But then again, from a different angle, I did see he was a bit kind of he did look like he had a bit too many drinks, you know.
Yeah.
But how do you think that fight? Did you watch it at all?
I just skipped until I saw the end. Who won?
Fair, okay. Like myself, I watched it live. There was people like Doja Cat. There was Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, all of these people, and I'll be honest, I was getting a major fucking throwback when I seen some of these artists and everything. Like there was even E40. Do you know that guy?
Yeah.
Made the song Choices and all that. And actually listening to them, I was just like, this is incredible. And then, see, obviously, as you know, if people make cameos and stuff like boxing rings and UFC rings and everything, they sing a song, they go away kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I'd say probably half that event was just singing. Like, obviously, not to mention Justin Bieber was on at the end and everything, and he was given a little gap and everything between all the rest of them. But there was, I think it was Snoop Dogg, Doja Cat, E40, and Ice Cube, just all at this, just one by one by one by one.
Yeah.
And the fight was absolutely terrible, I'm not gonna lie to you. The event was just a whole shit show. There was just too much going on. There was not enough boxing, too much too much singing from Doja Cat and all of those kind of people, and
Sounds like an NFL halftime show.
basically, yeah, there's about 5 of them in that whole boxing event. But
Beautiful.
yeah, with that, it was just kind of, it was a complete and utter shit show. And for the people who did watch it, I just feel really bad for you, really, you know. So, Bradley, as you may know, in the news recently, it did come up that obviously with Prince Philip's tragic passing away, of course, at the age of 99, and of course with the Queen's birthday also happening most recently on April 21st, when she did turn 95 years of age. What actually happened, if you mind me asking, in the country in regards to this? Because if I remember correctly, you were kind of keeping up with this a tiny bit in regards to what actually happened.
A little bit. Well, normally when one of the royals dies, there is, I think it's 14 days where shops and certain sporting events won't go ahead to pay respects to the family.
Yeah.
And however, with COVID and all that never really happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so obviously, if I remember correctly, he didn't even want a big funeral, if I remember.
No, because when a royal dies, they tend to have like not a parade, but normally they get driven round certain parts of like London. I'm pretty sure, and people can pay respect and all that. However, with Prince Philip, he never wanted that. He just wanted a quiet funeral, and that's what he got.
Yeah, which is kind of something that you can kind of think with fair play, and obviously our condolences do go out to the Queen and her family and everything. With that though, what was your, if you mind me asking, what was your kind of thought on Prince Philip passing away? Was it kind of one of those things where you were kind of shocked? I'll be honest, when did you find out? What was your kind of thought, you know?
Honestly, I don't really, I am not really that bothered about the royal family.
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays it's mainly there for tourism. We don't really do much. Like, obviously, it's a sad thing to happen. He died, and obviously, it's a sad thing. But
it's kind of one of those things where you feel like unfortunately, they're being treated as kind of like a tourist attraction now, Buckingham Palace and everything, is it? That's
pretty much.
That's completely fair. If we are going to go back to COVID a tiny bit, obviously with the Olympics that were supposed to be going ahead in Japan and everything, what do you think is going to happen with that? If you mind me asking, with obviously the Olympics and everything, when do you think that's going to start heading up again? You have to kind of give your little kind of sauce on it, you know.
I'm not too sure because
you were telling me previously that you really liked the Japanese kind of adaptation of the 2020 flag, weren't you?
Yeah, like I feel really bad with Japan because the 2020 was like a perfect year for Japan because obviously, if people don't know, the Japanese flag is just a red circle on a white background, and the flag they would be using for the Japanese 2020 logo was literally the numbers 2020. However, one of the zeros was the Japanese flag, and it looked amazing. However, now that got postponed. It should be happening this year.
Okay.
But obviously, I'm not too sure how COVID is happening in Japan.
They were thinking about like more restrictions and everything, and obviously they have that thing in America where everything's pretty much back to normal there, and what is it? It's like a half an hour test kind of thing where you take a test, you wait outside the door for like half an hour, and if it's all negative, kind of hop in, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what England are doing as well. So, in the sense of not nightclubs, festivals are meant to be happening. But what will happen is they'll take a test before you even enter like the site to see if you are positive or not. And if you're positive, you just literally get turned away. You're not allowed in the festival.
I see. Okay. Do you have any festivals planned for yourself around the summertime, or?
Not really. No. I'm all thinking open my borders back up and let me get on holiday somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we can plan to go to Spain or something, Tori.
Magaluf.
Oh, Magaluf, Shagaloof, you know. Oh my god, let's not bring up the cringy in between our lines.
There is one thing I want to say though: free my man Cubert. He shall not be silenced.
Moving swiftly on. So obviously, no, Bradley, as you know, we do have this part in the podcast where obviously we just go through little questions and everything. You've already gone through them, so what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna ask you them again, but this time I want a different reaction from you.
Different reaction.
I want a different answer, different reaction, and I want to know why. So if you had $1 million or euros, what would you buy? But the only twist is that you only have a day to spend it.
A day to spend it?
Correct. You don't have this, you don't have it for life, you don't have it for this. You only have 24 hours.
Am I allowed to put it into an offshore account under a different name so it's not illegally mine?
No.
No. Okay. Damn it. Can I somehow transfer it to my sister and she owns the money?
No.
No.
you have to buy
I can transfer my money.
you have to buy a physical thing or like stocks or something, or it has to be gone. Essentially, if you still have the cash or you still have it in your account, it's wiped after 24 hours.
Yeah, but if it's in my... Can I not just put it into a portfolio then, or in stock, but not put it into a stock?
I guess, but I was kind of hoping for a better answer than that. Jesus Christ. Gonna buy 1 million stock of Xbox and then the next day redeem it.
No, in fact, just put it into my account. Don't put it on actual any stock. Just have it in my account. That there.
Yeah.
And put like maybe £1 into one stock, just therefore it's been spent.
Then just asking for it back.
Ask it back, but put like a 10% like VAT on it, so I don't get it all back. No, in serious note, £1 million, 24 hours to spend it.
So it's like, would you buy retail? Would you buy a house? Would you buy a few houses? Okay.
I'd buy some land, because my one thing with land is if you buy in the right area, the right foundation, you will never lose money on it.
Okay.
You always gain money.
What would you do with that land? Would you just buy it and just leave it there? Or would you
leave it there? Just leave it there until, let's say, a farmer or the government want it, and I can just call my price. Because at the end of the day, it's my land. They have to buy it off me.
That is completely understandable.
So let's say I put, I don't know, 250. That's $250,000 into the land.
Yes.
$250,000 into the land. So I've got. I'm not good at maths. Help me out here, Jack.
750k.
750k. See, this is a hard question because you've put me on the spot, and it's like trying to think quickly.
Well, you'd only have 24 hours, so.
I know, but I feel like 24 hours is longer than like 10 minutes.
Fair.
Obviously, go for a house. Buy myself a house.
Okay. Would you buy a house on that land, or would you just buy a house far away, kind of thing?
Just far away.
Far away? Oh, fair enough.
Oh. No. Do I go to south of France or Monaco?
How come you wouldn't be going to an English kind of house?
If I was going to English, I'd be going to Cornwall.
Okay, why Cornwall specifically?
Because Cornwall is a beautiful place in England.
Oh, fair enough. I've never been. I'll be honest. I've just been kind of London, that's it.
One of my say London is overly expensive for what you can get. Like, I'm pretty sure a 1-bedroom apartment can cost you up to like $5,000 a month to rent.
What?
Yeah, it's something stupid for a little amount of space.
Wait,
like,
really?
London is very overpriced.
My computer's how do people live there? The fuck?
Because with jobs will go over, it can't. Well, I'm pretty sure some jobs don't even pay rent. Like, I'm pretty sure But yeah, it's
Not-
just stupid. Like, I'd go somewhere nice, but not overly expensive. Like, Monaco is expensive because obviously it's
like kind of like the rich part of France, isn't it? Kind of thing.
yeah. But I was just thinking if I can get an apartment or somewhere where it overlooks a Grand Prix, that would be beautiful.
Okay. Okay. If you had
Or could I
one,
invest for other money into a Grand Prix team?
I mean, you could.
That'd be bang. George Russell, you know where you are.
Okay, so if you had one other superpower, what would you have and why? And if I remember correctly, you picked was it reading minds last time?
I think it was teleportation in the sense of like, oh, I forgot what the Avengers called. Oh, I forgot what he's called.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. I can just literally make a hole and just walk through it.
Can't be asked for this place. Teleport me to Spain, is it?
Exactly, mate. Just like fuck it. I want to go on a holiday. In a bit, boys.
Airplane prices? Nah, bro. Do a little circle here. So if you had
I
one
just think you
other,
can rob a bank.
if you had one other superpower, what would you have then?
Invisibility.
Okay, why would you have
So-
invisibility? And do not give me a perverted reason.
No, I wasn't. So with my teleportation, I can get in and outside of a bank. However,
Oh my
I'd be
God.
caught in CCTV cameras. So if I have invisibility, I can teleport myself in there invisibly, take all the money, then teleport myself out. And there's no trace.
Yeah, but if the news does get loose that you have these kind of powers, when they just initially say it's you.
They can't catch me, can they?
Yeah, but if they only know one person has invisibility and teleportation powers.
Yeah, but what would they? At the same time, why do I need that money?
I know, right? You had £1 million that you had to spend in 24 hours. Why'd you need more?
I mean, I could always just do it and just like take from the rich and give to a poor type thing.
That's very fair, yeah. But then what happens if the poor get rich?
It's just a cycle, isn't it? It's just a circle cycle.
Yeah. You're robbing from them to give to the poor people that were once rich and now they're poor. It's just a
Yeah.
vicious cycle.
Oh well.
So I have a question on the podcast for you, Bradley. So let's just say you're going into a shop and you're getting your normal. What's your kind of favorite takeaway meal if you had to get one? Like, would it be a pizza with chips and something
It'd be
else?
Probably a chicken tikka masala
Okay.
with rice and bread.
If you had to take something from kind of every kind of big chain of takeaway, what would you
What
take
was that,
and
like
why?
Pizza Hut, KFC, like that type
Yeah, if you were to have kind of like a mukbang kind of say, if you could say,
mukbang. Well,
if you could kind
I'd
of
say the
have
chicken from KFC, the fries from Burger King.
good choice of the Burger King, yeah.
Probably the burgers from Burger King. I just don't like McDonald's, to be honest.
Have you ever tried their apple pies?
Apple pies and a McFlurry, mate.
Yo, they slap.
Beautiful.
They slap,
like
bro.
together.
Yes, people give me like a weird look, and it's like, why are you getting £1 apple or €1 apple pies? And I'm like, so like they think I'm a broke ass bitch, and I'm just like, no, bro. Like, I just really like the apple pies. Like, honestly, double cheeseburger, apple pie, strawberry milkshake. How can you go wrong?
So I'm not that much of a milkshake guy, but KFC's Crush'ems,
They're way
Milky Bar Crush'ems.
they're way too much for me. I feel I'd have
The Milky Bar one is beautiful.
See, I don't think I've tried. I tried the Malteser one and the Kit Kat, and they were just a bit too much for me. I had it, and I was feeling like shit after like half of it, and then like a month passed, and I had another one, and I just didn't like them. I feel they're just too much, you know.
Yeah.
Is that just me?
But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Burger King do a better selection of drinks. Or over here they do, because we can get varieties of Dr. Pepper, Fanta, in the sense of like I can get cherry Dr. Pepper, I can get vanilla Dr. Pepper, orange Dr. Pepper.
Even orange Dr. Pepper?
I don't know. I might have just made that one up, but
Oh,
I'm just making a point of like I can get different type of flavors of that one drink.
so if you could only
Okay.
have You can only have one, but if you could only have one takeaway place that you can only go to for the rest of your life, do you think Burger King would be the shout?
Yeah, I feel like Burger King might be a shout. I might miss with chicken from KFC though, but Burger King just beats McDonald's. I know that's a bit controversial,
Yeah.
but Burger King is just better than McDonald's.
Oh. Controversial, yeah. We're gonna hopefully not get too much hate for that. But to ring everything back anyway, and to put an end to this podcast, so how are you feeling, Bradley? How are you feeling now that you're at the light at the end of the tunnel? You're able to actually, to a certain extent, because you've received your first dose of the vaccine, you're able to kind of go outside of a little bit of less fear. How does it actually, obviously to myself and Callum, how does it actually feel to have your first dose of your vaccine and kind of you're halfway there?
It just feels like we're getting our freedom back. It feels like 2019 again.
Yeah, 2019, before we weren't joking about the coronavirus and making memes about it.
Yeah.
And now we're actually able to, hopefully, well, I mean, not me, because we're still fucked over in Ireland, because we actually don't know what we're doing still, and if I'll be completely honest. But it's good to see that obviously England's getting back to normal and everything, and hopefully, if I remember correctly, England are apparently like, yo, here's a lot of vaccines. But in all honesty though, what's the plan? What's the plan? Because you're gonna get the second dose in about 8 or so weeks, and then you're gonna be kind of a completely quote unquote free. What's the plan?
The plan is booking a holiday.
What's the first place you're gonna go to?
I'm not too sure, because I'm pretty sure one of my friends from Amsterdam either wants me to go over there or he's coming over here. But yeah.
Okay.
Then 2 of my friends from down south, or well, one of them I know definitely. And we're just gonna have a little night out, well, a weekend together.
One thing I will say, when all this shit is sorted out and everything, we are definitely going to a CSGO major. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, I miss the CSGO experience.
Talking about CSGO, my man Device.
Oh, bro, we couldn't go into that news, 'cause if we did, everyone would be like, "Yo, what the fuck are these two nerds talking about, bro?"
Video games, what are those?
If you do get, no, I came to watch a chill podcast and just listen about the news. What the fuck's this? Who the fuck is Device? What's an NIP? What, they're talking about nips? What, nipples? What? It's like, no. But yeah, to kind of put an ending to the podcast and everything, Bradley, it's really good to hear that from the first time you were on the podcast, obviously you were kind of a bit, hopefully we're sorted out, and in comparison to this one, it seems that you guys are going really well, and that hopefully we'll all be back to normal, and hopefully maybe you could even come over one day and we could maybe make an IRL podcast and have you on here for a third time.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure having you on, and as per usual, you have your little 10 seconds or 15 seconds to tell the world what you're doing.
I live stream sometimes over on twitch.tv/MadBrad21. I have signed up to do a charity podcast for British Heart Foundation focusing on loneliness. That will be starting, I think it's the 26th, and it goes on over 2 weeks. So free sure to drop by.
Okay, perfect. Hopefully we'll be able to I know definitely on the YouTube it will be we'll have a link to that, and yeah, I just want to say, MadBrad, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast again for a second time. Obviously, as everyone knows, it was a bit weird not having Callum here, but yeah, you've been joined by your host JCK and Madsham, what the fuck, MadBrad. MadBrad, thank you very much for coming on, and I will see everyone in a bit.
Goodbye.